Welcome back to the Just Some BS podcast. Another solo pod today. I swear we will have guests in the future. I think. No, really enjoying these solo pods. Having a really good time with them because I'm getting to do things that I don't always get to talk about. Today is no different. We're going to have some fun today, I think. At least fun for me. But solo pod, half an hour to 60 minutes. Should be somewhere in between. But one of my favorite topics. So let's get into it. Everyone thinks they have elite tastes in TV until someone proudly tells you their favorite show is The Big Bang Theory. How dare you? Today we're going to settle it or start new arguments with my official top 10 TV shows of all time. Some of you will nod along. Some of you will start typing hate comments halfway through. Either way, you'll probably end up rewatching at least one of these tonight. These aren't just my favorites. These are the shows that lived rent-free in my head, ruined my sleep schedule, and shaped entire eras of my life. So grab a snack, open up your streaming app, and prepare to get offended. Let's do this. So quick criteria before the chaos. Let's talk rules because this is a BS-free TV ranking. So number one, this is how I looked at these shows and this is how they made my list. Rewatchability. If it's not good background TV, while I do something else, it's out. Writing. I want dialogue that makes me pause mid-bite and whisper, damn. Cultural impact. Did it change TV or just give us memes? Emotional range. If I don't cry, laugh, or question my morals at least once, it's off my list. Longevity. If you tell someone you've never seen it, If you tell someone you've never seen it and they look offended, it belongs here. Ready? 10 to 1. Let's start getting mad early. Okay, number 10. I have a little bit of a structure here as well. I have some banger quotes because I love banger quotes from the actual shows. And we'll talk a little bit about them and I will tell you why I think it's amazing. Number 10, Silicon Valley. If you've ever seen it, it's on HBO. It's amazing. Quote, we're making the world a better place through scalable, disruptive, and synergy. Context, it's created by Mike Judge, who also created Office Space. So it's basically a 6-season roast of tech culture, which it is, and it's epic. Fun fact, actual engineers call it too real to be funny. That's actually hilarious. It's like watching a group project with billions of dollars and zero emotional intelligence. This show made me want to start a company and delete LinkedIn in the same hour. So this show's excellent. One, because it's super humorous and I don't know if all of us understand the tech world and how strange startups can be, but it gives you a little bit of insight into startup tech culture. The weird stuff, the hard stuff, starting in someone's garage inside a house, like just building stuff that people use and turning things into billion-dollar industries. It's absolutely hilarious. Mike Judge is pretty brilliant as well. The cast is epic. I remember very specific moments of this show where I went back and rewound a specific sentence or statement or interaction between two people because I was absolutely crying. Excellent writing, really great characters. You really start to love them. I believe it's also only half-an-hour episodes, if I remember correctly. So really those quick bites, either when you're eating, then you're not supposed to watch TV while you're eating, or if you just want to catch something quickly. Silicon Valley, really funny. 6 seasons are all really good. It never jumps the shark. I feel like they all stay you stay bought in. The early ones early on are fantastic as you're starting to figure out what's going on, and the OG cast does really well. Trying to think if anybody drops off. I don't think they do, but Silicon Valley, give it a go if you haven't seen it. Quite amazing. Number 9, I actually thought I was going to put this one lower down the list, but as I was going through, I was thinking about my rewatchability and have I really gone back that often. I have a couple times when the new seasons of this come out. So number 9 is Peaky Blinders on Netflix. I love a good mobster, gangster show, movie, whatever that looks like. I've never seen one like this. Quote from this movie, by order of the Peaky Blinders. I mean, it was a terrible, terrible British accent. Is British gangs after World War II, England, based on real Birmingham gang. It literally changed men's fashion. Flat caps and wool coats literally are everywhere because of this show, because it was so good. Every episode made me want to open a whiskey business I'd immediately ruin. It's the only show where a haircut counts as character development, 1,000%. The haircuts in this show were epic. Having the little So they wore like I said, that kind of flat caps, and they had razor blades in the underneath here stitched in that they would use as weapons as well. Cillian Murphy is unbelievable this entire show. I mean, he's unbelievable mostly in everything he does, but this show has a lot of drama, has a lot of family drama, has a lot of just deep rooted gangster, mobster type approach to things with all kinds of illegal things going on, but also watching Cillian Murphy crank up it through the ranks to realizing that he has to play the game of the world if he wants to get out of that world. So getting into politics and political situations inside of England as well. Really fascinating. Some sad parts, some really interesting parts, can be quite dramatic at times and but gruesome, brutal. The dialogue is excellent. Yeah, really, I mean, the show's just, if you haven't seen it and you're into history or you're into gangster mobster shows, action, gore, intelligent, just all of that stuff, Peaky Blinders is on Netflix. You can still see it. It's amazing. You should definitely check it out. Number 8, absolute feel-good show here. We're going deep in the feels. Ted Lasso. Quote is believe. If you haven't seen that little sign that goes above the office for believe, it's wonderful show. It started as a commercial for NBC Sports and somehow became an Emmy machine. So actually early on, I never watched the show because I was quite annoyed by the commercial aspect for the NBC Sports. So when NBC Sports bought the Premier League and started showing Premier League football in the United States, they had this Ted Lasso character by Jason Sudeikis come on and talk about it. It was like very like Americans making fun of English football with like a football-esque coach. Like, it was a very strange thing to me. And I was like totally against it because I love the Premier League. I'm a huge Arsenal fan. And so it was very off-putting for me. And so I never gave this show 1 ounce of my time, actually the complete opposite. And then I had a couple people at work were like, you really have to give this show a try. And I was like, I know, but they're making fun of soccer. And they're like, no, they don't. Like, it's so amazing and the story, and it's really feel good. So I was like, okay. So we gave it a try. Brilliant. It's probably one of the best shows if you're just not feeling great or not having a good week / month / year. Go watch this show. It'll instantly make you feel better. It's comedy gold. It's such a feel good story. The relationships, the people. It does, obviously, a lot of it is wrapped around soccer or football, but it's not overbearing for people who aren't even into that as well. Like, I'm hugely into it, so I enjoy that part of it as well. But even people who are not into the sport find the show absolutely wonderful. So, fun fact, Jason Sudeikis built Ted around Mr. Rogers with their Southern drawl and cuss words. So amazing. I can see that because, once again, very into the positive vibes with this show. It's the only show that makes me want to hug strangers and then journal about it. That's 1,000% true. It is the first show that made toxic positivity feel healing. This show will heal you. If you are struggling, go watch Ted Lasso and believe, because it will heal you. It's amazing. Number 7. If you can tell a theme here, I'm big into gangster shows. Number 7 is because of my wonderful actor. Oh my gosh. I'm completely blanking. Thank you, Steve Buscemi. Oh my gosh. Boardwalk Empire, number 7 here. Quote, you can't be half a gangster. So I don't know why Boardwalk Empire hit me so hard. I absolutely adore this show. It probably knocked out some other shows that people would probably find way better, but for some reason, I loved Steve Buscemi through this entire series. And that whole Prohibition period, Atlantic City starting up and turning into something, the whole beach vibe, beach property not being anything as it is today, just being barren wastelands along the coast. It just was so fascinating to me. And then once again, you're getting into the mobster stuff, which I love. So it's set in the Prohibition era, Atlantic City, produced by Scorsese as well, which is another reason it's epic and amazing. The pilot cost $18 million, and that's before they even bought the booze. So yeah, the pilot cost $18 million. Think about that. it better slap. It's like the American Dream in a three-piece suit and trust issues. Another show like Peaky Blinders that has amazing suits, clothing of that era, which is crazy because I'm not big into dressing up in suits or anything, but for some reason, super snazzy dressers here. And Steve Buscemi plays a mob boss who looks like your tax guy, and it still works. One thing I loved about Boardwalk Empire, some in the later seasons, it gets into the Chicago era of, gosh, I don't know why I can't. Capone. I don't know why I can't think of anything right now. Anyway, they bring Capone into the show from the Chicago side, and that whole thing was really fascinating, and it's just a really good show. If you are into, once again, mobster shows and have not given Boardwalk Empire a chance, and if you think you don't like Steve Buscemi because of Adam Sandler movies, don't worry about it. Completely different actor. You won't even notice. He is just so lovable, but does some horrible things. It's just excellent. Check it out, Boardwalk Empires. If you live in New Jersey, or you're in the Jersey area, or you love Atlantic City, another reason to watch it. And you like the Prohibition era, go watch it as well. One of my faves. Number 6. This will probably surprise some of you. This show crushed me. And it is the Max miniseries Chernobyl. Quote, "What is the cost of lies?" That's probably the best quote in this entire 10 show list, because it tells you everything about this show in that one quote. What is the cost of lies? That's exactly what happened at Chernobyl. Whenever I talk about culture, or I talk about transparency, or being able to go around the chain of command, or integrity, truth, not getting pushed out for telling the truth, like all of those things, if you want to see the worst possible thing that can happen because of all of that happening, it's because of Chernobyl. So it is HBO's retelling of the 1986 nuclear disaster of Chernobyl. Fun fact, it's IMDb's highest rated show ever. That's why it's on my list, people. If you haven't seen it, it'll blow your mind. It's nuts. It's the only show that made me Google radiation symptoms mid-episode. It's pretty intense. It's pretty dramatic. It'll keep you on the edge of your seat. It's a lot. It is absolutely a lot. It's a mini series. It's short, so don't worry, you can get through it, but it'll kind of kick your ass, so be aware of that. Chernobyl is like a 5-hour anxiety attack with perfect lighting. That is so true. And once again, the reason I think it's so fascinating is it shows the worst thing that can happen by having terribly suppressed approach to everything, balancing everything and everyone, and what can happen is a 1986 nuclear disaster. So it's really good. I said that 1,000 times, but check it out. Chernobyl, HBO as well. A couple HBOs on here. So you can watch Chernobyl on HBO. You can watch Boardwalk Empires on HBO. You can watch Silicon Valley on HBO. Peaky Blinders is Netflix, and Ted Lasso is Apple TV, if you needed to know. Number 5. What do you know? Another mobster show. Do I have a type? I think I do. So number 5 is The Sopranos. So I'm pretty sure when I was traveling at my previous job, when I was traveling all over the country, I started this, and I think I got it through like 6 or 7 seasons. And then Jenny and I just rewatched the whole thing. She had never seen it, and we got through to the very end. I think it was 10 seasons or 9 seasons. Just I think in 2024, I think we watched it. And so we got to really just recently see the whole thing and just how impressive it is in the storyline. And I'm not sure why I stopped before. I don't remember what episode I stopped in, but for some reason I just lost touch, or it wasn't so much interest. Maybe I just ran out of time. But Sopranos, the quote, "A Don doesn't wear shorts." Well, that's true. Next, premiered in 1999 and invented Prestige TV. But Prestige TV being all of the things we watch today, it was kind of the beginning of all this. I mean, possibly, I know like maybe The Sopranos, The Wire, very similar in context, but fun fact, the finale still splits friend groups. So if you've never seen The Sopranos, the very, very end finale, there was a huge argument. I won't tell you about what, but it is still quite divisive today. People argue quite a bit about it. Personal hook, the Tony Soprano was the first boss to make therapy look like a power move. That's 100% true. Tony Soprano spends a lot of time in therapy. The therapist is a huge part of the show. And what's so fascinating about that whole thing is because of his career/job, like therapy would be the last thing someone like him should go to, which is why I think it's so amazing to see that whole dynamic and kind of tiptoe around things. It's almost like him trying to outsmart the therapist. But I mean, Tony walks so Walter White could cook. Very true. Very, very true. It was a trendsetter. In 99, I obviously wasn't a part of it when it was coming out, but I can't even imagine what it was like waiting every single week for the new episode. I mean, probably very similar to like the whole Lost phenomenon that was going on. I wasn't into that either in the sense of like during the time period it was on. I didn't get to see that, but remember how hyped everybody used to be just waiting for the next episode? You don't have that so much now because there's just so much to watch. You can fill the gap in between. Another show that's coming up on the list, I felt like still held that crown with everybody being super pumped for the next episode, but Soprano was great. Really loved it. Once again, gangster mob show. I thought it was this perfect amount of length in the sense of seasons. I do not feel any of the shows on this list actually jumped the shark. Some of them are still going. I don't know. I forget actually, but maybe they will be. But yeah, number 5, The Sopranos. And I will remind everyone, if you don't agree with any of these or you think this list sucks or you agree with this list, let me know. Shoot me a DM, put a LinkedIn post calling me out saying I completely disagree with everything you're saying. Or when I put out the little teaser and you watch the episode, come back to the teaser and throw down your comments below. Let me know what you think. Number 4, Yellowstone, Kevin Costner. Am I right? I'm not sure everybody was ready for how good this show was. Like, it was like, okay, Paramount, it's coming out. What is this about? Kevin Costner crushing it. This kind of, I wouldn't say it's mobster, but just like very family. You can tell I love dramas. Like this entire list, except for a couple comedies, is very drama based. So just really love kind of that genre of like the dramatic, the action, the people against the world or whatever that needs to look like. So yeah, quote, you build something worth having, someone's gonna try to take it. It's literally the Dutton farm. It's pretty much the battle the entire time over all of this land that is owned by one family in Montana. If you have not seen it, or if you have not seen any of the spin-offs as in 1883, 1923, they're all actually quite excellent. It's created by Taylor Sheridan. So Taylor Sheridan also created Yellowstone, 1923, 1883, Landman, Tulsa King. I mean, everything that's on Paramount streaming is pretty much Taylor Sheridan. He also did Sicario, if you've never seen that movie. Very good. Pretty much Mexico cartel drug type situation. And Wind River, I've actually never seen Wind River, but I've heard good things about it. But yeah, Taylor Sheridan's pretty big deal. Very big deal for Paramount. What I've noticed about the streaming apps, they all have kind of picked their horses to run with. For instance, Apple TV is very heavy Seth Rogen and Jason Sudeikis. And who's the other guy? I mean, Harrison Ford's on there. Netflix is very much Jason Bateman. What's some other really, really big actors? Adam Sandler keeps coming back on there. And then Paramount is Taylor Sheridan. What's the other ones? I'm not big Hulu watcher, except for maybe Handmaid's Tale. There's a couple shows on there I'll watch, but they kind of all pick their little niches and then have the individuals making lots of content for them, which I think is interesting. So fun fact, it's shot on a real ranch in Montana, which is beautiful. The show makes me want to buy land and immediately regret the property taxes. I can't imagine the property taxes for some of that stuff. Actually, the person who owns Arsenal Football Club, which is my favorite soccer team, is owned by the same guy who owns the Rams and owns the Nuggets and owns the Avalanche, and Stan Kroenke. And he, I believe, has the largest single personal property in the United States, which is a ranch, I believe, in Montana. So he's like the Duttons. I wonder if it was his ranch. I'm not actually sure. But yeah, so there are people like that who exist. It's a succession Like Succession, you've never seen the show Succession with cowboy boots and therapy issues. 1000%. The show is amazing. And apparently they're doing another spinoff with two of the characters from the show as well. And yeah, more to come. I mean, I guess you kind of keep going back to that well if it's super, super successful. And Yellowstone was very, very successful with 2 to 3 other spinoffs, lots of merchandise, and people absolutely love the show. And lots of people got other careers from that show as well, with singing careers and everything else. So another one that I never felt like, do we have to add that in? You know, adding things in just to add things in. I haven't felt that with that show. A couple other shows I have, but that's number 4. Number 3, Band of Brothers, HBO again. Quote, "We stand alone together." Produced by Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks. No big deal there, right? Not heavy hitters at all. Based on real soldiers, they used their actual names, which I think is brilliant. It's not entertainment. It's a gut check in HD, 1000%. If you didn't cry at least once, you need to check your pulse. So Band of Brothers, I think I watched that whole series possibly 3 times. If you love Saving Private Ryan, the movie, you should definitely watch Band of Brothers. And there was also a second version of that, which was The Pacific, I believe. That was also excellent. I don't think it was as good as Band of Brothers, but it was still very good. So if you're into war movies or just the intensity of war movies in general, Band of Brothers is absolutely incredible. Don't remember how long it was or how many episodes, but really digs into the grime and the intensity, the sadness, the brotherhood, like all that stuff about war in general. But Saving Private Ryan, We Were Soldiers, any of that kind of genre, if that piques your interest, I would definitely go watch Band of Brothers. It is on HBO, I believe still. You may be able to watch it on a different app, but I'm not sure. I thought I saw it somewhere else, but it's definitely on HBO Max. Absolutely loved it. Loved Saving Private Ryan, to be fair, too, which may be why Tom Hanks got involved. I think Saving Private Ryan was before Band of Brothers, but I'm not sure. Anyway, it's Spielberg. What else do you need? Number 2. This is the show that probably plays in the background the most in our house, and it is The Office, US version. Quote, there's only one quote that should be said. That's what she said. Adapted from the UK version that lasted 2 seasons. The US ran for 9. It was almost canceled after season 1 until iTunes downloads saved it. Can you believe that? Because season 1 was pretty good. I think season 1 was only 6 episodes, if I remember correctly. It's a show that made awkward silence an art form. Michael Scott is a walking HR violation with a heart of gold, and we love him for it. So once again, divisive character. Is there anybody better that you would shake your head and say, why, Michael? And then love the character in like the next second? Because all he wanted was to be loved and to have a family with tons of kids and children and care for them, but was the worst leader possibly on the planet. So brilliant. I mean, quotes, memes, clips, bloopers. So I have to say, not that the show jumped the shark, but I have to say after Michael Scott left the show, it was just different. It's not that it was bad. It was just, he was so iconic and such an amazing character. I'm surprised they went as many seasons after that as they did. And then the finale when he came back for the wedding, just, I'm not crying, you're crying. I mean, just so unbelievably good. The show's, whenever it's on, especially if we're just like, you know, kind of just sitting around or eating and I just need a good laugh, like it's always on. It is always on whenever it's on because it is so feel good. If we're traveling and like just whatever, it's nighttime or hanging out in the room or whatever, just kind of trying to crush some time. If we find The Office, it almost makes it feel like home. You know, you have those certain things that you watch and you're like, oh, this feels right. The Office is definitely that for us. So when we travel, we try to watch it whenever it's on television, which I'm sure I could just connect to my phone and find it. I think we have watched that series. My wife's probably watched like 27 or 30 times. I probably watched it like 10. It's that good. It's so wonderful. And then when they came out with like the episodes that had a little extra juice, had a little extra butter on it, I think I even watched some of those. I don't think I got through all of the seasons of that, but that show makes me so happy. I don't think it's as feel good like intentional feel good as Ted Lasso, but it's one of those that it's super nostalgic plus the feel good factor. So all the math is there, and it's just great. I know it was on Netflix for a while. I do not think it's still on Netflix. I don't know where it sits right now. I always catch it on Comedy Central when it is on, I guess, live television. Who watches that anymore? Weirdo. Number one, those of you who know. Those of you who don't know should know. And it is GOT, also known as Game of Thrones. Quote, winter is coming, which is appropriate because winter is coming. So HBO's largest production ever based on George R.R. Martin's books. Fun fact, The Battle of the Bastards took 25 days to film, which actually is one of the best battles. Yes, that's the one I'm thinking, where Jon is out in the middle and like the whole army is coming at him. It was just epic. It's the only show that made me scream, cheer, and reevaluate my trust issues all in 1 hour. 1,000%. You couldn't trust anybody in that show. When it was good, it was untouchable. When it was bad, we pretended it was good because dragons. That's kind of true. I mean, dragons always make everything better. So do zombies, to be fair. I actually loved it. There weren't many episodes that I didn't like. I know a lot of people had a huge problem with the end, the last season, the darkness, the dark episode, the battle, all that stuff. Didn't really bother me that much because I thought the show was so good. I like that kind of lore as well. The Lord of the Rings, medieval, fantasy, all the magic and everything that comes with it, just beyond like swords and shields and stuff. So when you add dragons, you add in walkers, you add in like this whole subplot, all the characters and the character twists, keeping track of all of them. I don't know how R.R. Martin created an entire world of all of these different people and tied them all together, and there's some deep meaning relation or whatever. It was just awesome. And that typed a book into a 10-season show. I wish everything I loved like that would turn into a 10-season show. To be honest, Harry Potter probably would have been better if it was a show versus 7 or 8 movies. Maybe not, but maybe so. The other really cool thing about Game of Thrones is like the gaps between, because it took so much of production, but also allowed people to grow and get older, and like the kids growing up and watching them kind of go through their lives and become adults was just so good. The music, there was so much going on and so many different stories that like you could watch one episode on like a specific part of the show that was going on, and you may not come back to that part for like 3 or 4 episodes. And if you haven't taken the time to watch Game of Thrones, it still holds up. Every time a new season would come out, Jenny and I would go back and watch all of the previous seasons to get ready for that season. We did it for all 10, so we watched it a lot of times. And it gets better every time. We'll probably go back and watch it again. I know they're coming out with like a new spinoff, which is the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I think, which I'm very excited about that. They have obviously the show that's going on. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of it? Something Dragons. Anyway, the other spinoff that also is happening right now, I love them. I love them all. Maybe it's because of the lore. Maybe it's because of that kind of fantasy, whatever, but it's really good. It's really, really good. If you haven't given it a chance yet, you definitely should, because it crushes. It's great. Favorite character of Game of Thrones? Arya Stark. Amazing. Because the evolution of that character, what she had to go through, what she went and trained for, and what she came back. I mean, the character arc there, let's go. Absolutely amazing. So Game of Thrones is number 1. We're going to get into some honorable mentions, because I really went back and forth with a lot of these to almost make the top 10, because I do love these shows as much. So Breaking Bad is on this. Say My Name. A chem teacher turns kingpin. You root for him anyway. This would be probably in the top 3 for my wife. I liked it, but I didn't love it in the sense of a top 10. Great show. I mean, he's such a good actor anyway. Really enjoyed Breaking Bad though. Next honorable mention is Shameless. Frank, please don't. The Gallaghers made dysfunction look efficient. I mean, weirdly crazy dysfunction, but really enjoyable to watch. Not everybody loved this show as much. I found it really funny, and there's lots of sadness and just, I don't know. It was an excellent show, and the humor of it really kept bringing me back as well. Another honorable mention, Key and Peele. So what's really funny is I've never actually watched a live episode of Key and Peele. I've only seen the internet skits, but I mean, Aaron, still quoted in boardrooms and barbershops. I say it all the time. The skits that came out of Key and Peele and the amount of views they have brought to their YouTube channel or Comedy Central or what, like those two, it's almost like the Dave Chappelle show, like, except I think funnier. I'm going to say it. I just think Key and Peele's cleverness with their skits is just the things they spoke about with the Liam Neesons and, like superheroes fighting each other, the Aaron, the cell phone skit. We actually just talked about that at work in book club about how you can completely lose your head over misunderstanding people and that the airline, but is it against the law though? I've never seen any of those skits actually from the show. I've only seen them on YouTube, but they're amazing. So Key and Peele. If you haven't seen any of the skits I just talked about, look them up on YouTube. Just type in Key and Peele and then just sit there for hours and you will cry. The last on my honorable mentions is a newer show. It's actually called Shrinking. It's on Apple TV. We're not fixing people. We're helping them carry their weight. It's a Ted Lasso's emotionally unstable cousin. So it's kind of a feel-good show there as well. It's about psychiatrists. I think psychiatrists. Harrison Ford's in it. It's really great. You should give it a shot. It'll make you cry, make you laugh. So there it is, my definitive top 10 TV shows of all time. If you agree, congratulations on having taste. If you don't, I respect your wrongness. TV is a mirror. Sometimes it shows us heroes, sometimes villains, and sometimes Michael Scott trying to make a grilled foot. Amazing episode. Tag me in your list. Argue with me politely online. If you still think Friends belongs here, we need to discuss your standards. So yeah, coming up on, I believe, the next episode, I will be reviewing you. Will I? No, that's not true. Just kidding. I'm changing up my my process with that. So until the next episode, stay weird, stay passionate, and may your streaming queue always have something worth rewatching. We will catch you on the next one.